Hey, it's Gabriel Brown here, and I have a business tip for you today. Many years ago, I used to work for an accounting firm, a CPA, and we used to do corporate structuring and corporate credit. This was about 15 years ago. And what we would do is package the client's deal and submit it to a bank for funding. All right, and I learned some of the ins and outs of how to package a deal. Now, one of the tips that I want to give you today is so important because a lot of startups and a lot of actually seasoned business owners miss this particular step. And when you get this wrong, it could cause all your funding applications to be declined. Now, the tip is you must set up your NAICS and your SIC codes properly. All right, these are industry codes that are given to you by the federal government for collecting statistical data about the economy of the business, all right, for the entire industry. So let me say that again. Your entire industry for the business that you're in has some statistical data and economical data that banks and lenders use, right, to verify the strength of that industry. Now, if you're in an industry that the revenue is up and down year over year, it's not a growth trajectory, the business lenders or funders could look at that as a negative effect on your application. Another thing is these NAICS codes and the SIC codes are looked at to verify if you're in a high-risk business. For instance, if you're in the credit repair business, that's a high-risk industry, okay? And if you don't know how to structure your business for the credit repair industry, all right, you may not get approved for a loan. Now, let me tell you, what I've learned is that if you get the right parent company, so you set up a structure where you have a parent company that's not in a high-risk industry and the NAICS or the SIC codes are not in high-risk industries, then you can get a subsidiary or DBA of another company under you, okay? So you can get approved for your parent company, okay? Now, this is really, really important. You want to pay attention. If you don't know what industry you're in as far as the NAICS or the SIC codes that are given for that industry, you want to research that, and there's a specific place you want to put that code, okay? Now, many people, I'm not an accountant, but many people have never known where to put the code so you can classify yourself to the government, and it is on your actual tax return. There's an area on your tax return where you can put your NAICS and your SIC code, okay? And something else you want to do is you want to put those codes on your website, all right? You want to put it in the footer or in the header so when bankers or lenders go to your site, because they're going to review your website, you want to give them the code that you've given yourself, all right? So that way they don't make a mistake and code you and put it on your application, and it's a high-risk code and you get declined, all right? Even with good credit scores, personal credit scores, even with good Paydex scores, Experian Smart Business scores, Equifax business scores, you could still get declined because you're in a high-risk industry, all right? So the tip is, put your NAICS code and your SIC codes after you research the correct ones, all right, on your tax return, on your websites. You can even put it on your letterhead, okay? Make sure that you find the right code for your business. So if you have to set up a parent company and then do a subsidiary, all right, you'll know what to do, okay? And once you get that down, that will open up a lot of opportunities for you because bankers and lenders won't tell you you're in a high-risk industry. They'll just tell you you're declined. So that's your first business tip